Hey guys, BigSquareRoadToRoad.com. A couple things that didn't get to this morning. So much is happening in the Washington slash issues with sex that I didn't get to. So I'm going to go over Zero Hedge. And also, before I do that, right here, one of the best crypto interviews you will ever hear. The questions are good. The answers are unbelievable. If you don't quite have your head grasping the cryptocurrencies and what's happening, listen to this interview with Clif and Danny Katz, who's very much anti-Bitcoin, but asking the right questions because of all the FUD that happened with this guy, Quinn Michaels, and I've talked about it a few times. But Clif absolutely explains everything in very kind of simple to understand terms. I don't think Danny ever got it in the end, but clearly they're open to the potential of a cryptocurrency. Really interesting interview. So I suggest everybody, if you're a Bitcoin newbie, if you're a Bitcoin expert, listen to this interview because you're gonna learn things about how to answer certain questions that might not seem so. They're not bad questions; they're good questions, but over the past 5 or 6 years, everybody in crypto who's been dealing with this have already talked about the answers to it doesn't have intrinsic value. You're using up all the electricity, and the bad guys are going to come get you, and the AI is going to take over the world. All those are encapsulated in this one interview, and Cliff's answers are spot on. Absolutely, bravo, Cliff. And people say, "Bix, you're a Clif High groupie. You're just a cheerleader for Cliff." Yeah. Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to be? And but the guy's right most of the time. Not all the time. We go back and forth on certain issues. But, if he's right, he's right. And clearly with the cryptos, he's been spot on. Absolutely. And nobody can say he hasn't been the most correct person in analyzing price moves. And even in, him and Andreas Antonopoulos, I think, are the two brilliant minds in explaining what's happening. But there are others out there that I love to watch. So, yeah, really cool interview. So it's at a YouTube channel called Off Planet Media, and it's the first one on there. It's called Crypto Conundrum with Clif High and Danny Katz. Listen to it, re-listen to it over and over again. It's 2.5 hours, so you got some homework to do. Really cool. Very cool, and Cliff's the man. Absolutely, I'll be in his corner cheerleading for him 24/7. If you ask me, if he says something wrong, I will challenge him, and sometimes I just don't get it, and sometimes I'm right, and he says, "Oh yeah, you're right about that," and sometimes he says, "We agree to disagree," but it's very rare. It's very rare that I'm right and he's wrong. It happens on occasion. But, yeah, really check out that interview. Let's go over Zero Hedge real quick. Some of the more interesting things right here. Former Playboy model accuses Senator Al Franken of kissing and groping her without consent. Okay, Al Franken's going to come out and say, no, I never did that. That's not true, blah, blah, blah. She's just she's an ex-Playboy. She's not a credible witness. That's going to happen. He's going to come out and deny it, and then other people are going to come out because he's one of the bad guys. So, you mix Hollywood with Washington, D.C. with kind of a twisted mind, and you get you get a classic politician. So really interesting. Like I said this morning, more and more of this is going to come out about Washington, D.C., and I want to see Al Franken's response. He's going to say, no, I didn't do it. And you're going to hear more people come out on Al Franken and other congressmen. And then you're going to start seeing the indictments come down. And it's not about sex. It's about corruption. It's about pedophilia. It's about all kinds of things going on in Washington. Another interesting thing, the identity of secret informant in FBI's Clinton probe is unveiled. Christopher Campbell said he wanted to testify because of his concern about Russia activities in the United States, but declined to comment further. Let's check on that one. All right. More information about the congressional probes into the Obama-era uranium-1 deal leaked out Thursday when Reuters reported that Senate Republicans say their investigation into Clinton's role in approving the deal largely hinges on the testimony of a secret informant who was until recently the subject of a federal gag order. Why would it need to hinge on this secret informant when there's all kinds of evidence that the Clintons were massively involved, and the Podesta, I mean, just Tony Podesta, he was knee-deep in this stuff. That's just insane that you need any more evidence than what we already know. But then we have the testimony of this guy who was in the middle of it all. But a month after Trump asked the DOJ to lift the gag order, a command that the DOJ promptly obeyed, the man has decided to speak out publicly for the first time in an interview with Reuters. His name is Christopher Campbell, and was formerly a lobbyist for Tenex, the U.S.-based arm of Rostom, the Russian government's nuclear agency. At the time of the uranium-1 deal was approved, Campbell was a confidential source for the FBI in a Maryland bribery and kickback investigation that eventually led to the conviction of the head of the U.S. unit of Rostom, the Russian state-owned nuclear power company that received permission to buy uranium-1 from the U.S. Strategic Resources Panel on bribery and corruption charges. Hang on. I think I have to let this advertisement run, which is fine. Chef's Lives. Chef's News Today. We got 12 seconds, 11 seconds. Oh, it's killing me. That's what you get for clicking on something at zero heads when, you know, I haven't prepped the page. 2-1. All right, it's going away. All right, back to the information at hand. Campbell was identified as the FBI informant by prosecutors in open court and by himself in a publicly available lawsuit he filed last year. But his identity as the informant was somehow not widely known, Reuters noted. That's largely because the Department of Justice put Campbell under a gag order after the investigation was settled. The FBI never informed Congress of its investigation into corruption at Rostom and Uranium-1. In 2010, Hillary Clinton and a majority of the 9-member panel voted to approve the sale of uranium to Rostom, hereby ceding control of 20% of the U.S. uranium assets to Russia. This is the same woman that jumps up and down about Russia being the evil empire and Donald Trump is going to give away all our secrets to Russia. Hillary Clinton sells 20% of our uranium. It was purely, you know, was it a setup by Putin to take down the Clinton cabal? Maybe. But everybody in the Clinton high-ups, including Obama, was in on this deal. So it is bad news, my friends. Campbell's lawyer, Victoria Tosling, who was not previously identified her client, said despite Campbell telling the government how corrupt the company was, Rostom still got permission to buy Uranium-1, and while that certainly sounds suspicious, she didn't say what Campbell would reveal regarding any alleged wrongdoing by Clinton. In a telephone interview with Reuters, Campbell said he wanted to testify because of his concerns about Russian activities in the United States, but declined to comment further. Campbell insisted that he had meaningful evidence of corruption related specifically to the Uranium-1 deal. Campbell countered those who dismiss his knowledge of the Uranium-1 deal. I have worked with the Justice Department undercover for several years, and documentation related to Uranium-1 and political influence does exist, and I have it, Campbell said. He declined to give further details. Campbell's role in the probe will likely only expand if the Justice Department does end up appointing a special prosecutor. As a leak to the Washington Post Monday suggested it might, although Attorney General Jeff Sessions was quick to play down those rumors during public testimony earlier this week. Campbell potentially now has a larger starring role in Washington drama after the Justice Department said in a letter to Congress on Monday that it was considering appointing a special prosecutor to launch an investigation into Republican allegations of wrongdoing by Clinton, Trump's former political rival, in a deal. They don't need a special prosecutor, truthfully. You don't need a special prosecutor. You have a Justice Department. That's what their job is. You don't need to bring in anybody else. Yes, they will be investigating their own people. Or actually, they're probably not their own people, since most of the Obama people have left. Not all of them. There's a lot of deep state people within there. And it's not Obama people. It's Obama people, Bush people, Clinton people. And that's the deep state operatives that move in the shadows. And those are the people that are being taken down. So bravo to the U.S. for at least getting closer and closer to taking these people down. I'm really interested in Al Franken, what he's going to say. He'll deny it. There's no doubt about it. And then say she was, she's not a credible witness because she was in Playboy. And then others will come out. I think he's being set up, truthfully. So I'm waiting for the denial and then watch for the flood of 5 or 10 others come out. Some with even worse stories than the Playboy bunny that says he attacked her. Anyway, things are going on. Make sure you guys listen to this video with Clif High. He talks about cryptocurrencies. He talks about the tokens. He gives a great explanation of why tokens are needed with these companies and how they're valued. And really, really cool. And you listen to this, the questions and what Clif says, and it's clear we are at the very, very, very beginning of the crypto economy. And absolutely, you haven't missed the boat with cryptos, with Bitcoin, with Litecoin, and with all the other ones. Tomorrow I'll be posting the Friday Road Trip. I list the top 10 plus 5 more currencies and tokens I think are must-have for the future. If you're looking to build a portfolio of Amazon and Google and Facebook from the 1990s, this is early 1990 when the World Wide Web just came out. These companies, I think, will be the monsters in the future, and their valuation come early 2018. It's actually started already, but come early 2018, the valuations of these companies are going to go moonshot. Absolutely 10, 20, 30 times what they are today in the years to come. So that's a great return if you're interested. Go check out roadtoroad.com. Make sure you subscribe to the free emails and then subscribe to the private road to get all the my list of 15. Anyway, this is Big Weir, roadtoroad.com. I'll talk to you later.